City News on TV Rotorua is proudly brought to you by Rotorua Central.
Good evening, Rotorua. Tonight on City News. The start of a major rebuild of St John's ambulance station in Peririka Street is a step closer. The community rallies to support young mountain biker Connor Hamilton compete with the world's best. And we have highlights of Sunday's Wheat Mix Kids Triathlon. The start of a major rebuild of the St John's ambulance station in Peririka Street is a step closer with the allocation of a major Rotorua Trust grant to the Order of St John. Trust Chairman Graham Hall says the grant is part of the Trust's major capital project funding and is one of 13 grants given to local organisations and totalling $7.5 million.
They're one of the most important voluntary organisations and organisations in our community. They do a wonderful job at events, at everything, and they're well known. And we decided in 2006 that they would be next on the list because it's a way back since then that they've decided they needed to do something about their building. So when the ballot came up this time, we got the interest from the St John's saying that they'd like to rebuild. We said yes, they can go to the top of the list because they are really, really fantastic people. They do a wonderful job. They work very, very hard, and it'll be a great asset to our community. And Todd, we're really pleased to be able to say that there's a significant donation coming your way.
Thanks, Graham. Yeah, on behalf of St John Area Committee in Rotorua, we're very appreciative, and as I said, we'll put those dollars to very good use, for the building rebuild. But again, as per the initial earlier comments, was we really appreciate the work that the Trust does in the Rotorua community, not just for St John but for other volunteer charitable organisations, and it's definitely appreciated and well used. So thank you.
Raising the interest in healthy eating has led to Chef Deep Kumar passing on his skills and knowledge on the topic to students at Rotorua Intermediate. Over 30 students were treated to the chef's demonstration of cooking ideas.
Well, I think also him coming in is a good thing because being fat or obese isn't very good because it can also make you die if you get too fat.
Okay, what's the population of New Zealand? Who knows? Yeah, it's 4.5 million people in New Zealand. Or a beautiful country, few people. And you'll be surprised to know that among 4.5 million people, 1.3 million people are obese.
Deep Kumar says his philosophy is around promoting a healthy change in what kids are deciding to eat. 2 new Karerea chicks will soon be calling the Rotorua Museum home. Tomorrow, the New Zealand falcon chicks will be transferred from wingspan to a nesting box on the roof of the museum. This is the second urban release of an endangered species in New Zealand and continues the award-winning partnership between Rotorua Museum, Wingspan and the Department of Conservation started last year. The chicks will be looked after by museum staff until early January, when the young falcons will be free to go, allowing visitors to Government Gardens environment the opportunity to see the young falcons up close as they learn to fend for themselves. And remember to take your singing voice along to tomorrow night's Carols by Candlelight, the annual events on Aquedo Park opposite the hospital. In sport tonight, Rotorua mountain biker Connor Hamilton is overwhelmed at the community's support, with donations pouring in for his Saturday garage sale. The 18-year-old is raising funds to help him compete further on the world stage after this year finishing 5th in the men's junior category at the Mountain Bike and Trails World Championships in Norway. The garage sale is being held at supporter Sandy Sloan's home at 10 Hino Street, Pukehangi. To your weather update now. Tonight, occasional showers with light winds and an overnight low of 14. Tomorrow, Friday, occasional showers dying westerlies, a high of 19 and a low of 9. And looking out to Saturday, mainly fine with the chance of showers, light winds, a high of 21 and a low of 11. In the marine forecast for Lake Rotorua for Friday, westerly 10 knots rising to 15 knots for a time in the afternoon with waves less than half a metre, and there'll be fair visibility in a few showers. Still to come in tonight's program, we're at the Rotorua Museum to find out about a new competition aimed at improving students' knowledge about World War I. Councillor Irene Bigg joins us with tips on how to deal with Christmas stress, and we have highlights of the weekend's Weet-Bix Kids Triathlon.
My World War I hero competition is coming to Rotorua. Thank you to the Rotorua Museum. Emma Liley here is our education manager, and she's responsible for getting this competition out into the community and also making sure that it runs smoothly. Emma, can you please talk about the competition and what is it? How did it come about?
Absolutely. Well, we've had an education program here at Rotorua Museum all about World War I for the last few months here. We've had lots of local schools come in to take part in that education program, and what became quite obvious to us was that there was very little knowledge by our local students in terms of what World War I was, how it happened, and what it might have been like for our young men here from Rotorua. Also, that information came through from the adults that were accompanying them. Many were confused with World War II. Also, the fact that it's the centenary this year of the start of the war all meant that it was a perfect opportunity to actually start a conversation about a competition for our local students.
So this is a great opportunity for people to go back and study a little bit of history.
Absolutely, and as I mentioned, there has been a lot of confusion from the students coming in. They were confused and thought that Hitler was responsible for World War I, being confused with World War II, and because it is 100 years ago, not necessarily having that family history on hand, not having people at home to talk to about anyone perhaps in their family who may have served in that war.
Yeah, so who is this directed towards?
So this particular competition is directed towards our Rotorua students the age of year, the year level of year 7 and 8. So just that intermediate age, there are more than 25 schools that are eligible for that competition, because we do have a lot of schools that start at year 1 and that do go up to that year 8 level. So there are hundreds of students that are eligible to enter the competition.
Oh wow, and what categories have you got?
So there's quite a few different categories. There's a Māori section and an English section where we're really wanting to encourage our kura kaupapa schools to enter as well. And so there is a written section for English and a written section for te reo. There's also a short film section in English and a short film section in te reo Māori.
Oh wow, so you can either publish something or you can capture it on film.
Absolutely, so trying to get into that digital technology, trying to get students excited about that as well, and hopefully we'll receive good entries in both.
Oh, nice. And now who's working with you on this project? Who's the driving force? Who's helping you make it all happen?
We've had fabulous partnerships really, and I guess primarily it started with the Rotorua World War I committee, so that's made up of quite a few different individuals and groups. Ourselves, the RSA, the Rotorua District Council, guided by our Mayor, who worship Steve Chadwick. Also the Men's Shed, Rotorua Boys High, there's been a real range. But in terms of our sponsorship, our funding of the prizes, we've been extremely grateful to Ngāti Whakaui Education Endowment Trust. And they've come to us and they've offered fantastic prizes.
Nice, well done. And so when it comes to research, is it up to the students to go and ask family members? What are some of the varieties of ways they can get the information that they need for the competition?
That's a really valid question. Not all families, some families we know do have information about perhaps family members or people they may know of that served in World War One. But for some of our students, that's not going to be that simple.
No.
So we've teamed up with the Rotorua Library, and we have a wonderful partnership with Amanda Himara, the research librarian there, and she has offered to hold student sessions. So there'll be research sessions on a Thursday after school in Term 1, mainly in the month of February, but also full class sessions if teachers want to take their whole class down there. That's certainly an opportunity as well.
Wow, that's wonderful. It opens it up to the whole community. You're not restricted by a lack of knowledge.
No, absolutely, and she will guide you, and also she has the ability to offer internet access for any families that don't have that at home.
Brilliant. So how have you got the information out so far? How do the community know?
So the community know through a variety of ways. It has been featured just this week in the Daily Post, but we've targeted our schools directly. So we've found all of the Year 7 and 8 teachers in our district, and we've sent flyers and emails out to all of those teachers, but also through our local principals as well. So we're hopeful that teachers will get it into their planning now, and it'll be all ready to go for Term 1 next year.
So Term 1 next year, is that when it starts?
It starts January the 1st, so students are able to bring their work in from that date, and it ends at the end of March.
Because we're such a small community, you know, everyone almost knows everyone. How's the judging process done?
The judging, because we are such a small community, it is a blind judging process. So our judges are Matthew Martin from the Daily Post, Mauri Orakingi from the Rotorua District Council, the Rotorua Lakes Council.
Yeah, that's right.
We also will have a representative from Ngāti Whakaui as one of our judges, and I think that's most of them. Yeah.
Lovely. Okay, let's really entice people to, year 7 and 8 students to partake in this competition. Tell us what the prizes are.
The prizes are fabulous. If you win your section, you can get yourself your very own iPad.
Nice.
And just as a bonus, you'll also get prizes for your school. So not only will you get an iPad, your school will also get a 3D printer and a digital camera.
Brilliant.
So it's so worth your while doing. It's just fabulous to have that great support from Ngāti Whakaui to be able to offer these fantastic prizes.
Nice. And so for our locals who may have children of that age or grandchildren of that age, nieces or nephews, how do people get more information? Where can they find that information?
So the best bet to find more information is to just jump onto our museum website. So it's www.rotoruamuseum.co.nz, and you'll see a link there, World War One, my World War One hero, and just click onto that link and you'll find out everything you need to know.
Thank you so much for your time, Emma.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
So Christmas is meant to be a time for everyone to celebrate, get together, and it's meant to be a happy time of year. But unfortunately, it's not always like that. With me is a counsellor, Irene Begg from Talking Heads, and we're here to have a chat about what some of those stresses might be like and how we can prevent them. Thank you for having us, Irene.
Oh, hi, Mel. Thank you. Yes, there are a lot of stresses for families at Christmas time, and it's not to be underestimated, actually. Some people plan really well for Christmas and start their Christmas shopping way in advance, like halfway through the year or even straight after Christmas. You know, they go to the Boxing Day sales and purchase things for next year. Some people wait till Boxing Day to get their gifts, and they have Christmas on Boxing Day. So it's very individualistic, but I think the thing for families is the pressure of the commercialism for Christmas, and the pressure from their children to want the latest gadget, and talking about what their friends have and whatever. So what I find the best policy is to not get caught up in that so much, and to be realistic about what you can afford, because really, who wants the big bills coming in and the Visa card bill coming in January, and you're going, oh my God, you know, what did we do? We got a bit carried away with Christmas buying. So set yourself a budget, A lot of families have family gatherings where a family purchases a present and puts it in, say $20, $30, $40 present, and you all contribute that way, and one family goes to a family gathering and they give family presents per se rather than a whole bunch of presents. Or it could be that you have a $10 limit per person, and that works really well. I think our main focus should be on just getting together with family and loved ones, more so than buying lots of presents, because really what's Christmas about? It's about being with family and friends, people we care about and love the most in the world. And sometimes for people that isn't even possible, because people are working overseas or they're out of the country for various reasons. People may be in hospital, all sorts of things, but you make contact with them any way you can. So those are some tips so far. The other thing is, this day and age, often too, there are families living estranged from one another. So children may be living with one parent, and the other parent lives in another part of the country. And quite often children are travelling on Christmas Day, either with one parent to hand over to the other parent or with family members, and to be conscious that that can be hard too. There's a lot of planning has to go into making that happen smoothly, so that the children have a nice day with both parents or with extended family. Yeah.
So I really hear that planning has a lot to do with it. It's about making sure that everybody's on the same page, everyone understands. When it comes to children putting stress on their parents because they really do want the best gadget out, or the newest phone or anything like that, is it beneficial for parents to just have an open and honest conversation with their children and just be straightforward about their situation?
Oh, absolutely it is, and the sooner the better, really. Throughout the year, as you have these conversations, that if somebody wants something special like an iPad, or especially the teenagers wanting a new phone or something, that parents say, well, Christmas is coming, and maybe we may be able to afford to get you one of those for Christmas, but that means you have to do some jobs around the place and help out, and it should not just be a given that they get these kind of expensive gifts, and sometimes they may have to wait till their birthdays, or it's whatever. But please, as parents, don't get caught up with, I really need to buy this, or I feel really bad if I can't buy this for my child. Basically, I know the old adage is, the best present you can give your children is your time and having fun, and maybe it's about helping, getting the children to help out by baking cookies and making cakes and making up little food parcels for family and friends, and getting them to understand the Christmas spirit isn't about having the most flashes presents under the tree waiting for them. It's actually about being humble and realising that there are families out there that can't afford much at all, and being grateful for what you do have.
Very nice. Also, you've mentioned that Christmas is a time to gather with families, but that might be a little bit tricky for some families. What are some of the, challenges there?
Sure, that's right. Often we may be meeting up with families and we don't all get on, or we may have totally different viewpoints about things. And some wise things here is, don't drink too much alcohol.
No.
For starters, and if you're in a room with annoying Auntie Mabel who just won't be quiet about something, just take 5 minutes and go outside and have a walk, or go for a big walk on Christmas Day. Help yourself, help those with cooking and clearing up, and just extricate yourself from a situation where you feel your temper's starting to rise, or you're thinking, oh my goodness, I know why we didn't really want to come here today, because here we are again, another Christmas, and we're having to put up with these relatives over there who are very opinionated about things. But just remember your own stress levels, know what your triggers are, know when you're feeling a bit stressed and getting a little bit angry and you're not enjoying yourself. Instead of ruining everyone's day by having a big argument with somebody, you just say, I think I'll just go for a walk, and take yourself and the kids off for a walk, or help in different ways to get yourself out of a room where you feel the temperature rising a bit.
Irene, if there is anyone out there in the Rotorua community that might be feeling that Christmas is bringing a little stress for them, perhaps maybe there's money troubles or, as you say, family problems, how can they get a hold of you if they're looking to come down and talk to you and make sure that they are set and ready, level-headed, let's say, for Christmas?
Sure. They can give me a call, Irene, at Talking Heads Counselling. I'm at 55 Margarita Street, and my number is 07 349 3535, and I'll be working up until just before Christmas. And there are other agencies available over the Christmas New Year period, and they're only a phone call away. Just look in your local directory and you will get the help that you need. But please try and have a safe and stress-free Christmas, and remember, it's all about being with loved ones and family. And if you can't be with loved ones and family, to help others, perhaps, go and help at Salvation Army when they put on their Christmas lunch for people, or if you have to work, good on you for working. Doctors and nurses, firemen, all those people that have to work, good on them. Police officers, think about those people too, and just have a safe and happy time. Keep it simple.
Nice. So there you go. That's the clear message. Plan, keep it simple, and make sure that you understand what the value of Christmas is really about. Thank you so much, Irene.
Thanks, Mel.
Thank you.
A great day out had by all at the Weet-Bix Kids Triathlon. If you'd like to contact City News, you can phone 07 3488 984 or email news@tvrotorua.co.nz. Thanks for joining us tonight. Ko Maria.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.
City News on TV Rotorua was proudly brought to you by Rotorua Central.